Yes, hello today. Look, we have a blue screen of death. So, the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm hiding something from you guys, but I will reveal it shortly, so don't go away. So, we're going to be discussing Season 67. Season 67 was a season that has already passed. We just, by the time of the recording of this video, finished Season 68. However, PvP, unfortunately, for what I want to do, requires the data already presented, and that way I can make it better. So that means that I will always be one season behind, as well as you can never really see the results until the results are posted, and that requires the season to end. However, there is something that I noticed that was missing within the world of Dragon Ball Legends, especially within the community, and that was we didn't have a more data-based tier list. We didn't have data charts about top teams. We didn't have data on what units were actually showing up a lot, what units weren't. And as a result, we've had biased tier lists and opinions that were extremely based and just completely illogical. However, that day is no more, for I present to you an Excel sheet of all the top 100 players in the game. So with that being said, let's cue the intro.
Welcome to my channel, where cringy intros are cringy.
Alright, so as you can see, it is an Excel sheet. However, I want to discuss just a little bit about it. It covers all the teams, as you guys can see here. It covers the rank of each team, so who came first, second, third, blah, 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 all the way to top 100. It covers anyone that could potentially be a cheater based upon the susness of their team, and also it covers the Zenkai level of anyone that is a Zenkai unit or did have a Zenkai on their unit by manually checking each player within the top 100 and looking at each character. However, I realized very quickly that even though I had made this, that this would not be a good way to present it to you. So, without further ado, let me show you something that's a little bit way better. Actually, not a little bit, it's just way better. Here you go, a pie chart. We all love pie charts. And also, nice thing about pie charts, they're very, very informative. They're very quick and precise to the point. And as you can see, they look nice, generally speaking. So, as we can see here, this is every single team within the top 100. If you were to add all those numbers, and if the math is correct, it should equal to 100. So you guys can confirm or deny that in the comments below. It doesn't really matter to me. Point is, as you can see, based upon the top 100, 35% were hybrids. That's pretty impressive, actually. In fact, that's very scary. However, the nice thing is, if you were to compare this to Season 66, this is an improvement, actually, in terms of balancing the meta. Saiyans were actually 4th last time, and now they are 2nd on the list. So, it's clear to me that there are units that have shifted the balance within the meta. So let's take a look at which ones those are. So without further ado, let's move on to the next graphic, because there are more than one. Here we go. We have got the top played units. So this is with obviousness the most used units within the top 100 players. Now, of course, since it's only the top 100 and not top 1K or top 300, this is just looking at the best performing players in the game. Now, let's take a look, because there's obviously quite a hybrid core. Transforming Gohan takes 47 spots within the top 100, which is insane. However, that's still nothing in comparison to Season 66, which had over 50 to 60, was roughly there, of spots taken by Transforming Gohan, so that's actually insanity. The fact that it's going down means that the game is starting to balance itself out a little bit better. That's not to say it's perfect, it's just to say that more teams are becoming more and more viable as people are shifting away from hybrids, which is actually a good thing. And then next we have Red Gohan, who is keeping himself alive within purple red teams. If you do not believe me, I will show it to you with the Excel sheet. As you can see, now you can screenshot or you can pause the video right here and just take a look, because hybrids, every single one within the top first 3 players, first, second, and third, the champ, runner-up, and the bronze medalist, they all ran a purple red team. So what does that mean? That means they never ever ran this yellow Gohan. That's right, it was Goten, this red FSK, and Revival Gohan. So what can I make from that information? What can you make from that information? Well, first off, Goten keeps FSK relevant. Goten also helps TF Gohan quite a bit. It's essentially Gohan's passives that are what enables this team to be a well-oiled machine. So as a result, without Goten, this team probably would be seeing way less play. And on top of that, I truly believe we would see more of a Saiyan meta. So the fact of the matter is, this team really mainly stays together because Goten, his Zenkai, exists. So, as much as I hate to say it, Goten, even though I hate the unit and I think the unit is kind of on its own, within its own team, it's a monster and definitely adds to the survivability as well as the annoyingness to the team. Let's take a look a bit further because as you can see, we have different representation. Like Legends Limited Super Saiyan Gohan, if he appeared this many times, wouldn't it be all on hybrids? No, actually. In fact, I would say a good portion of hybrids, almost half, did not even run him, didn't even consider him. Whereas 13 placements were for Future. Now, with that being said, Future was a strike-based Future, so if you saw that 13 Future unit teams, unfortunately for anyone that was thinking, Blast Future is relevant, no, it's not. It's still dead. It's completely dead. All of the top 100 players were playing a strike-based Future team because Blast Future just, meh. It just doesn't have good units. Not good enough units. And yeah, I'm looking at Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So sorry, dude. You're a boost unit. So sorry. But with that being said, it is still annoying to see 4 of the units at the very top being all hybrids. However, now we're going to move on to Saiyans. Saiyans, Nameku has quite the showing. In fact, he has the most showing out of any of the other Saiyans, and I think the reason for that is he is the most splashable Saiyan within, well, Saiyans. He can fit on Super Saiyans, he can fit on Sun Family, he can fit on Saiyans. He can fit in a lot of places. He can fit on Namek Saga, although who the frig is going to do that? He can fit anywhere, realistically, and as a result, well, yeah, he's just a monster. Very strong character. Legends Limited Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I'm not surprised. Saiyans showed a big, strong showing. He's on Sun Fam, he's on green color counter. Makes sense. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is skyrocketing up, and that's because of his Plat Equip. His Plat Equip essentially made him extremely relevant to the point where he is a direct counter to Revival Gohan. Now, when I say he's a direct counter, that doesn't mean that you will automatically beat a Revival Gohan. What it means is that his Plat Equip enables another Rising Rush almost immediately after if you use a Rising Rush or if you kill off this Revival Gohan with Gogeta and break his Revive. Essentially, his new Revival, anti-Revival mechanic allows him to become more than just a force to be reckoned with. Paired that with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and potentially you are grabbing your Dragon Balls within like that, and that's just insane. And then to make matters like just very simple, half-corrupted Zamasu, or as I call him, Teletubby Man, he is showing a lot of play, and a reason for that is he fits on many different tags and teams. Powerful opponent, although they weren't in the top 100. He shows up on Regen, which they did. He shows up on Future, which he did show up there. He shows up on God Key, so there's a big reason to play him. Angel Vegeta roughly stays consistent with almost all of the teams for Saiyans he's on. But, with that being said, not every Saiyan team cares actually about him. So, it's dependent on player style. And then, surprise, surprise, we got Legends Limited Vegito Blue, who, if y'all remember, or for anyone that's new, he came out during 2nd anniversary and is still going strong today. So what does that actually mean? It means that his kit, when upon release, was way too much for the meta. The fact that he can keep up with the meta and actually be in the top 10 most played units indicates to me that he is a monster, at least within the top 100. The fact that the top 100 have him as their 10th unit of choice is quite interesting and honestly quite scary. So if this guy were to get a Plat or a Zenkai, I would be running to the hills because anything they give him, even if it's miniature, will greatly boost him anyways. So to give you guys context, this is why you do not give Vegito Blue a Platinum equip yet or a Zenkai. Sorry for those of you that wanted that. All right, moving on. We have the top 10 bench units. Now, why would I discuss this? The reason to discuss top 10 bench units is because you don't want to just see what's being played the most on a core. You also want to see what is boosting a team. Because, I mean, half of the game isn't just playing your top picks. It's also about making sure that those top picks are boosted in a way that it's extremely relevant. If you've noticed that the top 3 players and also teams of that season, they were only really playing 3 units for the entire season. Why and how? Well, player that was the champ, so the number 1 ranked player for that season, was playing the very first 3 units on this list. Red Trunks, he buffs FSK. This Gohan, he buffs Goten and Gohan, the revival one. This Broly, he buffs again both Goten and both the transforming revival Gohan. How? This guy buffs movies. Both of those Gohans are movie-based characters. This guy buffs hybrids, and that are purple, just like this one that's purple movies. Both the Goten and the Gohan are hybrids and purple. FSK is red, this Trunks is red. Also, this guy has a okay Z ability for defense, so that just adds to it. Essentially, what you're seeing here is a solid bench core, which enables essentially all of the units that you see at the very top, which is why those units A will be able to tank better, and B deal more destructive damage. On top of that, number 2 and 3 played Yellow Gotenks and Gohan respectively, not choosing to play this Broly as a alternate core, or alternatively dropping the Gohan, resulting in a little bit more variety for health. Whichever way you play, it's fine. Because what we're seeing here is how to build a team for hybrids specifically. And as you guys can see, that is a viable way to play. Now, Raditz is just the go-to for Saiyans. And then we got Mai, who played 12 out of the 13 in Future, which is awesome. Fusion Zamasu, just quick note, this is during a season when he did not have his Zenkai. So as a result, he was only used on the bench and mainly only being used on God Key. So there you go. Then we have Evil 21 that was played on Regeneration. And yeah, I mean, she's used there as a bench. And same thing with Goku. However, this EX Goku was 4 out of 5 on GT. And the fact that GT showed up 5 times means that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta put in the work that was necessary. So with that being said, guys, that is the analysis for the top 100 of Season 67. So with all that being mentioned, now I have to show you guys something else. So stay with me because I think you guys will be interested. So over here, I have a whole bunch of incompleted pie charts right beside my completed pie charts right here. What my plan was to make these pie charts just as relevant, essentially, as my top 100 PvP Season 67 ones. Have the names and the amount and have the pie chart. So, for example, if we were to open up Future just real quick, you would see that I have that. I would probably move it to the side, give it more space, and give you guys more information. However, Emily and I are just 2 people. It's really difficult. So this is where I have to ask for your support. Now, support doesn't just mean money. Support means liking the video, subscribing, but if you're going to subscribe, please also like the video, commenting, because I would love to have a discussion down below. Sharing the video also greatly helps. And in fact, actually, if you can share it with the community and show my work to them and not have me show it, that would be great. Just because, well, frankly, I'm not one to really do that. It feels weird and feels wrong. So I just wanted to let you guys know that this is just some of the many ways you can support me. Now, for those that want to support me monetarily, what I would suggest you do is as soon as I make a join function, join and become a member. Because the more I get subsidized by all you lovely people through the many ways, the quicker I can not only make these more consistently and have more content readily available, but on top of that, eventually I can make a website where I can store all this information for everyone. And since it will be a website, it will be free for everyone to view and to browse, and it will be filling a niche that DBZ Space and GamePress combined do not have. In fact, actually, it fills a niche that nobody has currently done, and I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm saying that because I was looking around and I saw nothing in regards to this. So, as a result, I'm making this, and I want you guys to have something that you can actually use, a resource that is very helpful. GamePress is helpful. It's just true. But you also have DBZ space, which is extremely helpful. And that's also true. But it's also nice to know where the top 100 players are going, what the meta really looks like within that top echelon, and also how good are actually these units, and are people just talking out of their butts sometimes? So, if you guys can or want to, please, once I make that membership, please join it. And for those that cannot, please, at least at the very minimum, share, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Any little support that you guys do will greatly help and will make these videos a lot more easier to make, as well as will eventually allow me to make a website in which I'll be able to give essentially everyone free content at their disposal at any time. So with that being said, guys, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't hesitate to tickle the like button if you haven't already subscribed, and click at the bell for notificazione so you never miss another one of my videos. Have yourselves a salty day, and I will see you in the next video.
Thanks for stopping by. Hope you had a time, Phil G. Phil G.